Hello and welcome to Radical Living. I'm your host Shoeless Joe, and today we are talking about what to do with old phones. The question was posed, what do you do with old phones, old phone chargers, that kind of technologically stuff? Do they constitute valid just-in-case items, or should we just get rid of them? We all have old phones and old phone chargers that are sitting around in drawers and cabinets just waiting to get used. But will they ever get used? I mean, really, will they? Now, old phones and old phone chargers are something that I actually do think is worth hanging on to in certain circumstances. For instance, when Aaron and I used to be with Verizon, we would always hang on to our Verizon phones every time that we would upgrade. And we would also keep around any extra chargers that we may have had. And both the chargers and the phones often came in very handy for us and for family and friends. I mean, come on, we've all accidentally left a charger somewhere or dropped a phone in the toilet and couldn't recover it. No matter how long we left it in the rice. Rice, baby. But I've seen people who have like big boxes full of old phones and like chargers that don't even plug into the new phones, and like, what? What are you keeping that for? If your old phone looks like it could be in a museum, please by all means send it to one. And if you have old chargers that don't even plug into any of the phones that you currently use, maybe you could find a recycle bin to plug it into. Huh? So yes, I would say if you're like me and you often might lose or break things like phones and chargers, then yeah, maybe keep some on hand as long as they are compatible with the current phones that you use or the current plan that you have. Like Aaron and I used to have 5 chargers for our 2 phones, and we thought this would be plenty, and then just the other day I had to text back and be like, do you guys have any extra chargers, because we're down to 1 between the 2 of us. I was literally texting her from the car with the car charger because my phone was dying and Aaron was using our charger. But of course, if you're more responsible with your items than I seem to be, maybe it is pointless to hang on to them. Of course, even if you are responsible with them, I feel like chargers always end up just like not working. Like you have to like do the whole like stack it on the top of books and like thing like, yeah, then you should probably keep the chargers. But if they don't match your current phone company, or you have those old chargers that like aren't universal, well, I think it's time to say goodbye, don't you? That being said, after doing some digging, I did come up with 3 old phones that we no longer use. Is this a Sprint phone? How did we end up with a Sprint phone? These 2 are remnants from when we were with AT&T, and this is a Sprint phone, which we had like way back when we were dating in college. I don't know how Aaron still has a Sprint phone. But the kids have been having fun with them because we have 3 kids, so they've each had their own pretend phone and they're like, woohoo, loving it. Old technology is one of those weird things that it's like we just feel like we should never get rid of it, like we always might need it or be able to use it. But it's also one of the things that like goes out of date and like out of use the quickest. So you might want to hang on to it just in case. Really ask yourself, how likely is it that I will need to use it, and how likely is it that I will use it? Like if you keep all these old phones and then your phone breaks and then you go out and buy a new phone, like what the heck is the point of keeping the old ones? But those are just my thoughts. What are yours? Do you keep old phones? Do you keep old chargers? Is there a point, or should we just let it all go? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, keep it simple, question everything, and stay radical. Good morning. It is not time for a cup of joe. My heart is the last, but I don't really care. But I kinda do. Oh well. And how likely it was that both came in really super handy. Phones and old phone charger. The old phone hanging on to in circumstances. Like, do they valid? Alright, good enough, peeps.